Howdy guys, welcome back to StatChat Sports. You're here with Josh, and I've also got TB and BT on with us today. Is the ticket of the day, Big Bash League. I think right now as we're recording this, Tazza, the final game of the regular season is going on, and it's been an absolute belter, by the way.
It has broken a few records on the way. It's been an absolute rip snorter of a game.
Yeah,
Maxwell has just gone ballistic.
Love to see that. Yeah. Disappointed they're not in the finals, obviously. A few COVID issues going on there, BT, but 150 is certainly a pretty for a T20 game.
Oh, what was it? 270 odd or whatever they made total.
272.
Don't forget about Stoinis as well. Yeah. 240 strike rate.
Yeah. Oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
In any other game. In any other game, he's picking up man of the match, but he's but a footnote.
Yeah.
He's been shafted. He's been absolutely shafted.
Oh yeah.
But you gotta love the big hitting of the Big Bash. That's why we tune in. That's why we love it. We've got the finals coming up. They're starting on Friday night. I couldn't tell you the format of the finals. It's almost like one of those you remember those Goosebumps books you used to read back in the day? Sort of like, pick this way if you want to go that way, or go that way.
Pick your ending.
Exactly. I've got no idea how it's going to end up, but I believe we've got 4v5 playing on Friday night, which will be the Strikers and the Hurricanes, which should be a good game. They were pretty, middle of the pack, BT. They finished 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Both, I think, had 6 or 7 wins apiece. What did you make of the Hurricane season all up, BT, in terms of who their stars were that got them there?
Well, they've definitely got all the players there to go all the way, especially that batting lineup's pretty strong with just Darcy Short, Matty Wade, McDermott, who made back-to-back centuries this season.
Yeah, he's been huge himself for a national spot as well, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So they've definitely got the potential there. But Adelaide as well, same thing. They more rely on their bowling. You got big Peter Siddle, leading wicket taker.
The ageless wonder, eh?
So it'll be a really good game. I think so.
Yeah,
but I still think they're still a step behind their top 3 teams, though. I think.
Yeah, for sure. So 2 Sydney teams. That's going to be a really good matchup. Should it eventuate? Again, I'm not exactly sure how the final, but I'm imagining they're going to be playing each other at one point. Sydney Thunder, though, certainly the batting lineup for the Thunder was pretty impressive this year, Taylor.
Absolutely. The addition of Quasha is going to transform what was already a good batting lineup. Billings, I mean, he played in the 5th test, didn't he?
Yeah, and was pretty, didn't sort of do himself any harm either.
I mean, England as a whole were pretty awful, but he didn't do himself any harm. Yeah, he was. I think I don't know what he scored in the second, but the first I think he made 29, which come in as not awful.
Yeah, off the fly, T20s. Comes in, does a job,
and coming into a completely different game, Test cricket, he's not done himself any harm. But Alex Hales, I think, is an important player too.
Yeah,
he's been a bit stop-start, but I think there are a couple of good scores there. And
he's 80 not out. His top score for
he's finding his feet.
370.
Yeah, probably at the right time.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
No, they bat deep. I think Sam's as well. Don't discount him. He's had 19 wickets across the course of the competition, so he'll do some damage along with Sandhu. Brody, obviously, the Sydney Sixers finishing in second spot for the comp. They've had a really good regular season so far. Probably off the back of their batting, you'd have to say.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Just especially Henriquez coming in at number 3 or number 4, wherever they need him, has to come in, go for a 6 first ball, or have to get the other batter on strike. He just knows how to play his role perfectly.
Yeah.
But then you've got the big hitting of Dan Christian at the tail end, also handy with the ball. I think they're your 2 big players.
Felipe
they're the most
as
important.
Well.
Felipe, if he gets going, he's dangerous. But I reckon Dan Christian, I reckon he gets those wickets. Very, very good in the field. you're very damaging with the bat. Can easily hit 40 off 15 or so at the back end and get that score up. Just he's the key, I think.
I'm going to be interested to see what they do with the ball tailor, because they have Nathan Lyon back in the team. And they showed in their last game of the season, which he played, that they weren't afraid to, use both him and Steve O'Keefe in the same line.
Yeah.
And bowling the full 4 overs each. So it'll be interesting to see if they roll with that for the finals. It's a bit risky.
It is risky. And I don't know. I think you've got to go with what's worked for you at the moment. Personally, I think they got to roll with O'Keefe. I know Lyon, he's world class, but
he's the goat.
That's it. That's it. How could you ignore him? But I don't know. It's worked for them. I mean, they're second. They're going to play the Scorchers. I'd roll with O'Keefe.
Yeah, it could come down to what the pitch is as well.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
Yeah, but that being said, you can't preempt the pitch too much. I mean, Hobart came into tonight's game against the Stars and they bowled spin for the first 3 overs for 50. So, I think it's all pitch. I think you've got to see how the game's going a little bit and play to your strength.
Yep, agreed.
And speaking of playing to your strengths, the Perth Scorchers have realistically had strength all across the board all year. They've been the best team. BT obviously repping the Scorchers. Give us a couple of thoughts from your end as to realistically what's worked well, because everything has.
Well, at the start of the season, Mitch Marsh coming in at 3, continuing his form from the World Cup. He was unstoppable. Colin Munro been pretty solid as well, but their bowling's very deep. AJ Tyre, very good, but if he has a bad day, the other bowlers step up. Just a well-rounded team, I think. Just a very well-rounded team.
A lot of international class players.
Yes. Yeah.
And part of that's probably, Langer's influence, picking the Australians and giving them opportunities. But, Taylor, it's a stacked lineup, you got to say.
It's the most balanced lineup in the competition. The fact that you've got guys like Lance Morris, who's come in, taking a few wickets here and there.
Yeah.
Matt Kelly's, I think he's got a couple of decent hauls there. He's coming
as well.
Hardy, and he's handy with the bat and ball. The guys, you just you go right through that list, and there's guys there that have made an impact. Maybe not every game, but that you can definitely say have made an impact somewhere in this competition.
Yeah,
and that's why these guys are winning so many games.
Yeah, they're going to beat. I think that's fair to say. I think we are a little biased. We are all West Australians, so we do see a lot of the Scorchers, and I think, say all three of us probably reckon that they'll go the distance. But if there was another team that you think is, going to be, either in the final or is going to take it out, BT, who would you go with?
I'm going with the Thunder. With the inclusion of Khawaja and Alex Hales up the top there, very damaging. But Sam's bowling, but his batting's also very good. He's a good all-rounder, Sam's is. I think Sixers, I think they've started off the season very well, but they've kind of dropped off a little bit, come to the back end. And Thunder have gone the complete opposite. Started off slow and working the momentum back into the finals. Well, I'll go with Thunder. But it's Scorchers all the way, though.
Yeah. I think, like you said, it's hard to go past them. And Taylor, from you, do you like anyone else?
I'm going to say the Sixers, but it's all on that top order. It's if Philippi, Vince, if Henriquez, if they can't fire, it gets real thin quite quickly. It seems to drop off. After Christian, I feel like there isn't a hell of a lot there. I'm
looking through the lineup now, and they've got basically Enrique averaging over 30. That's about it for their batting lineup.
Yeah, and so there's going to be a lot of pressure on that batting lineup, especially Philippi, who started really well, and I think he had a run of was it 3 ducks or three ducks in 4? Yeah, so it's that kind of form that they're just going to have to avoid.
Yeah,
and that's where the Scorchers and the Sixers were sitting neck and neck, and they really started to fall off around there.
Yep.
So I'm going
Fair
to back the Sixers if it's not the Scorchers.
Yeah, I like it. I tend to agree. If it's going to, I think it'll probably be the Sixers. I think they'll pull it together and make the final. And once you make the final, who knows? Who knows at the end of the day?
It seems to be a bit of a Scorchers Sixers theme over the history of the BBL.
Yeah.
There seem to be
some good ones.
The two form teams. Yeah, exactly. The big games. There's plenty of them.
How long ago was that one where Brett Lee just didn't get it done? And over? That would have been 4 or 5 years ago now, wouldn't it?
I was going to say, is it BBL 5? 4?
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah.
That's a stat chat.
Maybe
That's
I
a
don't
stat
know.
chat. If anyone can find that out, let us know on the socials because we'd like to know. That's the quiz for the day.
Yeah.
We haven't talked much about the Ashes. I don't think we will in this podcast, but one question I did have for you both. You might have seen on social media in the last 24 hours or so, there's been obviously the cancellation of the New Zealand ODIs. No longer going to be touring Australia to play those one days and the T20 game. So there's been a few people that have been posting up this old photo of back in the day where the old Australian team from the 90s played the Australian A team. Do you think that we should be doing that to fill the void of cricket? Because it's just un-Australian if there's no cricket going on. Come on.
Well, we're going to have that odd period in between cricket and footy season, which is going to be even longer now.
Yeah.
It's the worst time of the year.
NFL, obviously, me and Taylor are repping. That feels a little bit of, doesn't quite get you there.
Yes, exactly. I wouldn't mind seeing like the Australia team versus maybe the top 11 players from the Big Bash or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah.
There you go.
I wouldn't mind seeing something.
So who are we talking here that's not like it's not in the national squad, but it's played well in the Big Bash? So guys like probably McDermott, who's on the fringe at the moment, but hasn't cracked in. You know, Kerr and Thames with the ball.
Yep.
Maybe he's back on his birthday with another hat trick.
Yeah.
So, I think it'd be good. I like that, BT. We should be maybe we might get a little bit of traction.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty much wrapping it up for our BBL podcast. We've got plenty more content that's coming out on all your socials, wherever you find us. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is to keep up with our stuff. Make sure you do it because we're going to be putting out plenty of content for all you sports lovers out there.